Hi. So as a follow-up to some of the videos that I've done recently regarding intimacy and sexual health, I wanted to do one more video on that topic. And this time, rather than talking about tarot, I'm going to be discussing flower essences. The essences that I use is Australian bush flower essences. That is Bush, B-U-S-H. The creator of these essences is a man named Ian White, and he is in Australia. I find these flower essences to be very healing, very helpful, very subtle, really very beautiful. It's a wonderful way that you can help yourself to heal many different issues. Again, today we're mostly going to be talking about the intimacy issues. But before I get to that, I just want to discuss one remedy that he has. It is a single flower remedy, and it's, I think, probably one of the best, most important, I'll say, in his collection of remedies. And I have it here, and it is called Stuart Desert Pea. So this is an Australian flower essence. And the reason I find this to be of such great importance is because it helps when you're having any issues of grief or depression. And now what happens is that, a grief, it could be a long-standing grief, and you might not even really remember the cause, but you know that there's that sadness, that quiet anxiety that comes and goes. And if you do the work to find, you might be able to track it back to a particular trauma. Or it could even be something very recent that happened that was really causing you difficulty, depression, sadness. So the Stuart Desert Pea helps to lift some of the heaviness that depression can bring. This particular remedy is pretty fast acting, and I would recommend that if you're going to choose this, that you just use it for about 1 to 3 days and then stop. And if you feel that you need it again later in a month or so, then you can try again. And how to decide if you need it, I feel the best way is to use a pendulum. If you don't know how, I suggest that you get a pendulum and learn. Now, I did do a pendulum video a few months back, and if you want to search on that, it's called A Few Ways to Use a Pendulum. It's very easy, and I go through a lot of steps and different ways that you can use a pendulum very successfully, just with a little practice. So one of the best ways I feel to take these flower essences is to put, about 3 to 5 drops in a glass or a small bottle of water and sip that throughout the day. I do not recommend that you put the dropper in your mouth, which is the common usage. That is really not a good idea. It's much better in water, and sometimes what can happen is the bottle can get contaminated. If you put the dropper near your mouth and you put the dropper back in the bottle, after a while sometimes you see little floaters in that bottle, so the bottle has been contaminated and needs to be thrown away. So really think about trying the water method. Okay, the next remedy I want to talk about is a blend, and it is called Relationships. And, it's really dealing with some of the things we've been talking about lately, about intimacy, about connecting, and about healing past pain or healing a broken heart. Now, sometimes there are residual effects from a broken heart, and they can continue to affect, today, your current relationship. It can cause a lack of trust or really a lack of connection and intimacy. Or if you are not with someone but are still suffering from those old effects of a broken heart, sometimes it just doesn't give you the courage or the confidence to go and meet someone new. Or if you do, then you just don't have that trust. So all these things can really be helped by this particular flower blend, this relationship blend. But sometimes, there are many other things that it will cover. Any kind of disconnects you find in a relationship, sometimes, there's just a feeling of frustration that can lead to some anger, and that anger with your partner, and that, like on a daily basis, that little bit of irritability or anger can start to erode the intimacy and the sexuality between the two of you. So that would be a real good possibility of trying that relationship essence. Mostly it is for intimate relationships. However, I do feel that if you are a parent and you are having some difficulties connecting with your child, or maybe a teenage child or something like that, it could possibly work. It would be worth trying to see, because it is something that I feel that could mend that type of situation as well. Um, and just people that have a hard time opening and to really connect and open their heart. So all these issues would really, I feel, be helped or at least assisted with these flower essences called relationships. The next blend I would like to talk about is called sexuality. So it covers a wide range of sexual health issues. I would say generally it will raise the libido, it will raise the sexual energy. If it has been, that can drop down for many reasons. It could be health reasons or it could be emotional reasons, but it will assist to raise the energy. And it can be helpful for certain times when people, some people have an issue where they cannot climax, and I think this remedy could perhaps really assist in that, because it works, in that area in the chakra, the lower chakras. However, not just the lower chakras. When we're talking about sexual health, we're also talking about often the heart chakra as well. So it's really going to work on that combination. This sexuality remedy will also help if there are issues of confidence, just lack of confidence in your sexuality or prowess, for any given reason. Definitely something to work with. Now, sometimes people have feelings of guilt or shame, and the guilt can be from, it can be from abuse, or it can be from, maybe you betrayed someone and you're still harboring that guilt in yourself. So that sexuality remedy can help that. But I do want to talk a little bit about the sexual abuse, whether it's sexual abuse or rape for men or women. This remedy can really help push that through if there are residual issues, from the trauma of abuse or rape. Especially, there can be so many, that is such a terrible abuse to suffer, and there can be many residual effects of that. But remember, it will help if you feel like people who feel dirty or shameful. Sexuality will really help assist and push that energy out. Now, these aren't miracle cures, but they assist. And another thing, I feel that it would be worth trying, but there's no guarantees if it would help ED. The reason I say there are no guarantees, because there are so many reasons for that. It could be medication, it could be, health reasons. So there's no guarantee there, but I certainly feel that it would be worth trying. And, just in general, if you feel that, you really want to express that love with someone, and you always feel just a little held back, definitely this would be a remedy, and both people could take that in a relationship. Okay, there is one more I do want to talk about, and it is called Women's Essence. And this is for women at any and all stages of life. I would say, beginning with your first menses, and then through your motherhood years, and then later when you are starting to slow down your menses through menopause. And this will help balance the hormones through each of those stages. And it's very important, through all of those stages, very important. It will help, to just to make things go a little smoother, and you won't have such devastating effects from, difficult cycles. Also, it's important to keep that in mind as far as even with the childbirth or after childbirth, because things can really, shift and be out of balance. And I feel that Women's Essence would really be helpful in those cases. Now, I do want to say, I'm sorry to say that there is not a men's essence there. I did not see one. You know, what it is I have all the singles, and I work out of my kit of singles. So, but what Ian White has done is, you know, made these blends for people for these certain issues. Now, I will be linking a site below, and you can go to that site. It is a U.S. distributor for these essences. You can go and take a look at the ones I'm talking about, and there are a few others there as well. So my intention here is really to just to send you on your own trajectory of research and, you know, healing for yourself. So I won't be able to recommend any specific remedy for someone that asks. You know, I feel that would be irresponsible. So, you know, I'm going to alert you that these are available, these blends. Take a look if you're interested. Trust yourself, you know, to try something different. And, you know, if you want to take, you know, read the different ones and see what you feel is right for you. I think it's a really wonderful thing to be able to help yourself and to heal these really important issues of you know, of how our heart is and our sexual health as well. It's all tied in. Our sexuality is so very connected with our spirituality. You know, it's really inseparable in a way. And it's also so tied into, for some people, it's tied into our confidence as well. So from the bottom of my heart, you know, I do wish you all good health and to stay well, stay strong, stay sexy. Bye now.